Okay, so we're going to start 6-6, worksheet 2 notes, not worksheet 1 notes, worksheet 2 notes. It's very simple today, but it is something that you are going to have to pay attention to. Okay, so you will need an extra sheet of paper out because there are 2 slides in there that may not be in your current notes. Okay? Composition. Given 2 or more functions, you plug one function into another function and evaluate. Okay? You're plugging one function into another function and evaluating. Now, when I read these, they are going to read exactly the same way, but the notation is different. So f parenthesis g parenthesis of x is the same thing as f of g of x. Go over across the equal sign, f of g of x. That little o is read exactly the same way. It is not fog, okay? It is f of g of x, all right? Now, you are not going to like this notation. So as soon as you see f of g of x fog, I want you to put it in the parenthesis notation every single time. So every time, you are going to put it in to the parenthesis notation. It's just easier for your head. G of f of x is equal to g of f of x. So it's the same concept. Now, when you plug in a number, you are going to get out a number. When you plug in an expression, you are going to get out an expression. Do we all understand that, yes or no? Plug in a number, you chug out a number. Plug in an expression, you're going to chug out an expression. Now, super easy. Do not make this more than what it is, okay? Composition, I give you the 2 functions. F of x is 2x minus 7, and g of x is 7 minus 13x. You are going to work from the inside out, always and forever. So if I'm working from the inside out, what is the number touching? The letter G. So that means I'm going to calculate G at -3. So if I'm doing G at -3, what is G defined to be? 7 minus 13x. And in place of the x, I am now going to replace it with what value? -3. So this is going to be 7 minus 13 times -3. So this is going to be 7, a double negative creates a positive, and that's going to give me 39. What is 7 plus 39? It would be 46. Yes? Okay, what does 46 represent? G at -3. So every place you see G at -3, what can I put in place of it? The number 46. So now I'm going to be doing f at 46. Why? Because 46 is G at -3. So now I have a new problem to do. What is the number touching? What letter is the number touching? F. So in order for me to do f at 46, I'm going to take what f is defined to be. What is f defined to be? 2x minus 7. And every place I see an x, what am I putting inside of there? I'm going to put in the value 46. Yes? So this is going to be 2 parenthesis 46 minus 7. So 2 times 46 is 92. Take away 7 is 85. What does 85 represent? F at 46. Now, what this means is my final answer of f at g at -3 is the value 85. Do we all understand that? You don't like my stars? My stars are beautiful. Don't be hating. We good? Okay, let's do it again. I give you 2 different functions, okay? F of x is 3x minus 5. G of x is x squared plus 8, okay? Now, this reads G of f of 6. Do we like this notation? No, I told you immediately to rewrite this with parentheses. Yes? Okay, so now which direction do we work from? Inside out. So what is the number touching? So I am going to do F at 6. What is F defined to be? 3x minus 5. And every place I see an X, what goes inside of there? A 6. So this is going to be 3, parenthesis 6, close parenthesis, times 5. What is 3 times 6? 18, take away 5. What does 13 represent? 13 represents f of 6, which means I'm actually going to be doing g at the value 13. Yes? Okay, so I start the process over again and I say, all right, well, what is my number touching? It is touching the function g. What is g defined to be? X squared plus 8. And every place I see an x, what goes in place of it? 13, yes? So I'm going to have parenthesis 13, close parenthesis, squared plus an 8. Yes? 13 squared? 169 plus 8? 177. Okay? What does 177 represent? G at 13, which is the same exact thing as doing G of F at 6. Yes? Do we understand that? Yes.
So, how do you want us to write that down? We just
Exactly the way I have. So you keep a running tally of what you're doing, and I want to know what that final answer is. Why am I doing that? Because whenever I go to grade your test, I will give each one of these points. So this would be 2 points. So this would be 2 points. This would be 2 points. And if I have a third one where I give you 3 letters, then that's another 2 points. Does that make sense? So I want to know that your calculations are right until they were wrong. You with me? So I can give you those partial points. Good question. Okay, so here's the third one. F of G of H of 2.
H2.
I am going to start with where the number is touching the letter. The first number that is touching the first letter is going to be H at 2. So I'm going to take my H function, which is defined to be 2x minus 7. Yes? And every place I see an x, I'm going to plug in the number 2. So that's 2 times 2 minus 7, which is 4 minus 7, which is negative 3. What does negative 3 represent? H at 2. Okay? So now I go from the inside out. Where's my number and what is it touching? It is touching G. So I'm going to do G at negative 3. So what is G defined to be? X squared minus 5. So parenthesis negative 3 squared minus a 5. If y'all do not put parentheses there, you will not get the right answer. Because you are squaring the number 3 and the negative, yes? So what is negative 3 squared? That is negative 3 times negative 3, which is 9. Take away 5 is? And what does that 4 represent? That is going to represent G at negative 3. Yes? So now, what is my number touching? F. So I'm going to do F at 4. Yes? Okay, so if I'm doing F at 4, what is F defined to be? 2/3 times x. So every place I have a 4, I'm going to plug in, or I should say the x, I'm going to plug in a 4. Put that 4 over 1, because now I have a fraction times a fraction. Multiply straight across, I'm going to get 8 over 3. What does 8 over 3 represent? It represents f at 4. Well, what is that? that means 8 over 3 is the same thing as f at g at h of 2. Do we like rainbow better? I saw that look. It instantly was like, ooh. Well, it's okay. Do we understand it? Yes? Yeah? Okay, now what happens if I give it to you in graph format? No, it's the same concept. It's exactly the same concept. This is not in your notes right now, so you probably need to add it. Okay, I want to do f of f at 8. Huh, why would I do that? Because I can. Okay, I don't like that notation, so I'm going to rewrite it. F parenthesis f at 8. But this time, the calculations are done for me. So you are going to look at this and you're going to say, okay, I want to take my f function, well this is my f function, and I want to do x at 8. Well, x at 8 is this right here. When x is 8, what is my y value? 11. So that means I'm now going to be doing f at 11. Why? Because when x is 8, it is paired with the number 11. Yes? Do we see it? Now, what is f at 11? Okay, well now I need to go down to a different x value. That x value is 11, and what is that partnered with now? 9. So what is my answer? 9. Did I even need g of x? No, it was there just to screw with your head. Do we understand that? Are you good? Dawson?
Yeah.
That was very delayed. You good? Okay. Same concept, but this time, g of f of 11. Okay, I don't like the way that's written, so I'm going to do g parenthesis f parenthesis 11. What is the number touching? So I'm going to be over in this box, okay? So I'm going to look for the x value, 11, which puts me right here. Yes? So when x is 11, what is the y value? It is corresponding to 9. So now I need to do g at 9. Yes? So g at 9, well, g is over here. Yes? So when x is 9 in my g of x xy table, what is the y coordinate for that? It is 7, and that is your final answer. Do we all understand that? You are literally corresponding it already with what we were talking about, x and y. Okay, I just realized that I did not cover one that does not have that. So let's make sure that I give you that. And I'm going to come back up to a previous example. So let's go ahead and do this one. Okay? And we're going to do
We have to write these ones ourselves.
I mean, it's not that hard. It'll be okay. So yeah. All right, I give you f of x is equal to 3x minus 5, and g of x is equal to x squared plus 8. I want to do g of f of x, okay? So I'm going to get rid, are we multitasking today? Stay with me. Stay with me. G of f of x, yes? What is f of x? So So that's what f of x is. So doesn't that mean I can put that whole thing right inside there? Because that's what it is. Correct? So that means I'm going to be doing g at 3x minus 5. Correct? Because f of x is defined to be 3x minus 5. So now this expression is touching the letter g. So what is g defined to be? X squared plus 8. Correct? And every place I see an x, what am I putting in place of it now? Yes, I am. I'm putting in the 3x minus 5. So that means I'm going to have parenthesis, 3x minus 5, close parenthesis, squared, plus 8. Math Excel is perfectly fine with this answer. Math Excel is perfectly fine with this answer. Mrs. Yoder is not okay with this answer. Mrs. Yoder wants you to do what to that squared? I want you to write that down twice and FOIL it. So if I FOIL that, I'm going to get 9x squared minus 15x minus 15x plus 25 plus 8. Combine like terms, 9x squared minus 30x plus 33. This is the answer that Mrs. Yoder wants. Yes? Do we understand? If it is not squared, then it wants you to do my answer, okay? In Math Excel, if it's not squared, it wants you to do my answer, okay? It wants you to combine like terms and do the math. Any questions? Let's start tonight's homework. So here we go. 6-6, worksheet 2. Get it out? Number 3. F of g at 3. So what do I do first? What is the number touching? Which letter?
G.
It is touching G. So I'm going to work from the inside out, and I'm going to do G at 3. What is G defined to be?
X squared plus 6x minus 1.
And every place I see an X, what do I put in place of it? A 3. So this is parenthesis 3 squared plus 6 parenthesis times 3 minus 1. What is 3 squared? What is 6 times 3? What is 9 plus 18? 27 minus 1? 26. What does G, I should say, G at 3 is what value?
26.
So 26 is G at 3, correct? So that means every place I see G at 3, I now can replace that with the number 26, correct? So now what do I do? F at 26. What is F defined to be?
Negative 2x plus 7.
Very good. And every place I see an X, what do I put inside? So that's negative 2 times 26. What is negative 2 times 26? Negative 52 plus 7? Negative 45. What does negative 45 represent? F of 26. So that means my final answer is going to be negative 45, and that corresponds to F of G of 3. Smiley faces all around. Welcome to Walmart. We all good? Come on. How can you not see that? We good? Yes? Okay. Number 4, H of F of 7. What do we not like? We don't like the nice little circle there. So H parenthesis, F parenthesis, 7, close parentheses. Yes? So what do I do first? F of 7. So I work from the inside out. What is F defined to be? Negative 2x plus 7. So every single place I see an x, what goes in its place now? A 7. So I have negative 2 parentheses 7 plus 7. What is negative 2 times 7? Negative 14 plus 7. What does negative 7 represent? F at 7. So now I'm going to be doing H at negative 7. So H at negative 7, what is H defined to be? Very good. And every place I see an X, what goes in its spot now? Negative 7. So this is going to be 2 times negative 7 minus 6 over 5. Well, what is 2 times negative 7? Negative 14 minus 6. Negative 20 divided by 5. What does negative 4 represent? It is going to represent H at negative 7, which H at negative 7 corresponds to H at F of 7. Y'all good? Yeah? Number 7. Which direction do I work from? Inside out. So if I'm working from the inside out, what's on the inside is g of x. What is g of x? What is g of x? Well, what's it defined to be? So that's f at x squared plus 6x minus 1. What is that ugliness in the parentheses touching? The letter f. That means I have to use the f function. The f function is negative 2x plus 7. And every place I see an x, what now goes in that x's spot? The ugly, right? So negative 2, parenthesis, x squared plus 6x minus 1, close parenthesis, plus 7. Yes? What should I do? So what do I do here? Distribute, I heard. So that's negative 2x squared minus a 12x plus a 2 plus a 7. Combine like terms. Negative 2x squared minus a 12x plus a 9. Yes? Do we get it? All right. I feel like you guys are good. Any questions? Okay, the rest of the time is for you to work on this worksheet. The answer key is already posted. Do not do the problems and not check your answers. Tomorrow, you have a Math Excel over just this stuff. Notice there's no graphs on there today. Tomorrow there will be. Any questions?